Hello.
Hola Dan, ¿cómo estás?
¿Qué tal? Muy bien. ¿Estás ahí en la oficina en Málaga?
Sí, sí, estamos aquí. Sí, 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 sí.
Fenomenal. Oye, que estamos mirando los mails de
Rachel.
Rachel
Sí.
y pone a las 10.
Sí,
Y
sí, no,
lo siento.
perdona por la confusión, ha sido Marina cuando lo escribió en lo que es el calendario que tenemos con las startups, ponía a las 11, pero no te preocupes, esto lo vamos a grabar, o sea que genial, vas a estar metido. Y disculpa, es nuestro problema, ha sido nuestro
Tranquilo.
problema. No, no. Lo bueno es que hayamos tenido flexibilidad suficiente. Okay.
Menos mal,
So,
mejor.
so if
Oye,
you-
yo he hecho una pequeña presentación que te lo mandé esta mañana y
sí,
no
sí.
sé, bueno, más o menos es lo que quería hablar, y no sé cuánto tiempo tenemos, bueno, pero durará lo que dure, ¿no?
Sí, lo que quieras, lo que puedas tener media hora, cosas así. Lo he visto que la presentación es muy, muy, muy interesante. La he estado
Yeah,
ojeando un poco. So, if you don't mind, we can take it in English because
of course.
there are some others. And first of all, thank you for having some of your time and some of your precious
Thank
time. Yeah. It was, yeah, it was a while we spoke, and especially as a mentor also. So to give an introduction also to everybody, Dan and I we met about probably about 18 years ago, something like that. Could be
Could be even more.
even more. Okay, I don't want to go into details. Since I met you, I think you've been a freelance, and you started a couple of companies also,
Right.
and the ones that I remember, and you've been all the time related to technology. So you've been enduring and embracing every single change of any pace of new technology and disruption. So for me, you've been an inspiration also to everything that it was happening. And I think over the years also you've been doing both things, so managerial and also uh, technical parts. Although you are quite technical, and so feel free also to go deep into details as much as you want or as you feel. So for your information, also all our startups are pretty technical, so you can go deep to the bits and bytes. So feel
Okay,
free.
good. That's good.
Okay, so I don't know if you want to. Okay, I think you have a much more detailed presentation, also introduction about what you are and everything in the back. So the presentation is going to be at the back, so I will try to follow you also while
Okay.
you're sharing also. But you're going to be
Well,
sharing also the.
I'll be sharing it with you. So where do I do that? Here. Compartir pantalla. Let's see. Are we there yet?
Perfect. It's perfect.
In screen.
So go on. Time is yours, and
Okay, thank you.
feel free.
So thanks, Rafa, for having me here, and welcome everybody who's listening. I will try to talk a little bit about my experiences over the years. As Rafa has mentioned, I've been running a company or several companies over the last, 30 years. So I do have some details to share with you, and I hope to pick out the most important stuff that will help you on your way to success.
Okay.
So who am I? My name is Dan. I'm from Stockholm in Sweden. I started my first company when I was 16 years old. I was already then a techie, programmer, and then I managed to get a degree from the Royal Institute of Technology and Computer Science. I went on to work with the Swedish Space Corporation for a couple of years. That was quite interesting. You learn a lot of stuff about space and satellites and stuff like that. But the pace was not the fastest. I wanted to do something else. I looked into internet, into consulting, and also decided to move to Spain. So I've been here for 20 years now, and started up my current company in 2001. on the way there, I had also started a couple of different companies over the years with less success, but nevertheless quite interesting, and you also learn from your failures. More about that later. Mm-hmm. So basically, there are three different things I want to talk about. Well, my experiences, and I will over the different stages of your startup. I will also talk a bit about communication and the importance of that, and some of the tools that we can use for that. And a little bit about the future. Where are we actually going? And how can we make use of that? Mm-hmm. So, first of all, experiences over the years. Well, let's start with this little image. It's a diagram that shows some of the most important events over the history of life on Earth, which started out about 4.5 billion years ago. And first things happens really slowly. You can see here at the start of the graph, it's like a billion year, or more than a billion year between each event. From life to reptiles, that's like 3 billion years. And then it starts happening faster and faster. This is, of course, a logarithmic plot. So in the end, I mean, the last 100 years, we've seen a lot of things happening. Radio, television, computers, mobile phones. It's exploding right now, and it's going faster and faster. And it's very important to bear that in mind as we look at our own company and how we can embrace that we ourselves cannot change the world, but everybody else is doing it as we speak. Right.
Just to cut a little bit and to add, Dan, you probably don't know, but we are also connected to Singularity University. There are a couple of mentors also, which are part of it. One is Salim Ismail, which is one of the founders of Singularity. And the other one is Luis Rey, which is the responsible for Singularity University in Spain, and he's been giving a couple of lectures also with Bolt. So, what do you think will be the next thing happening, like coming to Singularity? I think when you're saying into Singularity, I think you have the same idea about when machines will somehow surpass what is the human capabilities somehow.
Yes, of course. I mean, I know that you are connected to the Singularity University in several ways, and you probably know a lot about this already.
No, it's great.
I have a few slides at the end of the
okay.
show, so to speak.
Okay.
We'll touch that, and I think that.
So maybe.
Quickly mentioning it right now, that of course we will in a few years' time have processing or computational capacity that surpasses the amount of all human brains on Earth right now.
Okay.
And that is going to, that's going to change everything.
Okay.
Everything. And we can't really foresee what's going to happen then. And that's the beauty of it, but it's also the great danger of it.
Okay. Thank you for putting it. And sorry for interrupting. So go ahead, please.
That's great. We'll see a bit about that later. So just describing the typical phases of a company or a startup company. You've probably seen this, or I guess there's also some debate over these phases. Are there 4 or 5 or even more phases? But let's stick to these 5 phases, and I'll talk a little bit about my experiences in each of them. So I guess most of you are in the development stage right now, where you're actually are developing your idea. You haven't even succeeded in attracting seed money yet, but you're defining your idea. So you need to talk to everybody, ask everybody for advice on your idea, and it's quite important to do that, because you don't only want to talk to people that think like you. You want to talk to people that have different kind of inputs. Someone that might tell you a very different story. attack your idea from different angles, right? And develop it. Because if you don't do that, once you launch, you have a one-minded product or one-minded service. So you need to adapt even before you start out there. And I guess also the investors they're used to a lot of presentations, so they will also attack it from different angles. So if you haven't prepared for that, you don't have the answer to those questions. And as I say that, you get a lot of advice or input from everybody, but you need to filter that out and see what you want to do with that information. So all input is valuable, but sifting is key here, right? You need to filter that information. And also, what's your goal in the end? I mean, there's a lot of talk about people who manage to, they launch an idea, it's mind-breaking, they sell it for hundreds of billions of dollars a few years later, and they can, relax on a beach in Hawaii for the rest of their lives. But that's not true for most of us. So if you don't have this marvelous idea, you might think that you're not up for starting a company. But yes, you are. You don't have to have this marvelous idea, but you need to know why you're in it here. And if you're prepared for taking those risks, because there's a lot of risk involved here, and that's where we come to the next little slide here. So now, so during the startup phase, when you're actually trying to get all that seed money or capital or finding investors or new clients, you need to risk everything. So it's a risk for you, personal risk. You're risking your personal money. You're putting a lot of time in here, so you're risking your personal life as well. And you're risking other people's capital or money. I mean, you might have taken in your cousins or nephews or aunts' personal savings into funding your companies. You're risking their money as well. So can you handle that? Can you live with that risk? And how do you cope with all that pressure? That on one hand is important, but you also need to work on your idea, your business, right? And as I said in the previous slide, all the information that you've gathered, you have to still keep gathering information, evaluate what is happening. I mean, how do people, your clients, how do they like or find your product, adapt, change, and do it fast? Because everybody else is looking at everybody else, and somebody's going to copy you unless you're actually on top of it. And all the time you need to focus on the perception of what you're doing. So what I mean here is that while you do analysis, you do strategy, you plan, you process, review, evaluate, control, assessment, but you also need to think from the outside, from a client's perspective, on your investor's perspective. Right? So this is like the most time-consuming and the riskiest phase, right? You're putting everything in there, but you also need to live a little bit. So once in a while, step back, breathe in, breathe out, go for do some sports, whatever. But you need to take a little time to relax and think about it and about your business with a different mindset. Right? This phase, in my case, was a bit different from other startups. I actually didn't have any startup capital. I didn't even ask for it because we were lucky enough to have a client that would fund or actually hire us from the start. So we never had to find the seed capital. So this is different in my case.
I bet also you were extremely lucky at the time, because the situation was, as you said, it was different. I mean, you could somehow grow using your own customers' money in order to survive somehow. Yeah. So how do you change a company from being a service company into more like a product company? Do you have any ideas, or can you share with us any ideas about how a company could do it? Because I think we have two different companies during this batch also, that they have like a service idea. Probably they're going to be getting some money and transforming the company into product that will allow them to grow quickly and to have like a completely different focus, and probably attracting also more money from investors that I think they are looking for more a product. So are you able to share any ideas about how would you do it?
In our case, in my experience, I think the best way to do it is to actually, it's a natural process in a way. If you're lucky enough to be working on a service that's sort of convertible into a product, if you can tweak the service you're doing, in our case, we worked with several different, we have been designing and programming different systems, and we have been able to gather a lot of knowledge about that, so we can actually make our own product around that. So I don't have any concrete
advice. Okay. No, I know it's complicated. This question.
It should come natural to you. My point is that if you're trying too much to do that, what we're just saying, Rafa, if you're converting your business into a product which is not natural, it might fail, because you want to feel that it's a good match.
Okay.
But it could be, and you can just do a small twist to your service and make it a product.
Okay.
That's probably my advice.
Okay, thank you. Please go on.
Okay. Also, I was starting saying this before. Most startups are not game changers that will create a need for the product. I'm talking about iPhones, iPads, or Skype. The need didn't exist, or there was no. It wasn't on the horizon even when some of these products showed up like Facebook, or the first search engine. Nobody had heard of a search engine that would search the whole web. It's unheard of. It's a total game changer. But most startups are not about changing the game completely, but instead will improve or merge existing technologies or products into a new service or a new sort of product. And that's the innovation about it. But a lot of times we only talk about those big, disruptive, one-of-a-kind, change-it-all, mind-blasting new products. But most of the startups are not about that. So what do we do? Well, we ride a wave, right? We try to look for those new big game changers and ride along and see where it can take us. You definitely don't want to be the surfer guy here. You want to be the dolphin, right? Who's a much better surfer than any human. But you want to be looking for the game changers, find out what it's about, and see if that can fit into your idea or your business or your product. We talk about cloud computing, big data, all those big game changers in the last 10 years or so. There are hundreds and hundreds of small companies that are using those technologies, and they have been embracing them from the start. And that's what I think is important, to be fast and see how you can use those new technologies, because that is going to make you be able to ride a wave like the dolphins here.
Okay. No, is it possible that I comment a little bit on the picture you show, because I love the picture and I love what you're talking about. There are a few things. One is the guy that is surfing there. He was one of the world championship, Mick Fanning, and that happened in South Africa also. Yeah. So in the middle of the competition, he was seeing how dolphins, they were also surfing the waves he was trying to get also. And during that competition in South Africa also, he was trying to get bitten by a shark also. And I think, okay, at the end nothing happened. The shark was tangled to the leash also that was attached to the board and everything. So he was scared to death. So I think the analogy for me, it will be something like, okay, the sea is great. I mean, you can surf the wave. Of course, you have to have some sort of abilities. Is what that is connected to what you said. I mean, you need to embrace the new technology, try to surf it, and probably you're going to be having so much fun. That is at the end the most important thing on this game. So yeah, you can capitalize something on that. But there are risks also involved with some sort of these technologies also. Sorry, I love this, and I probably will copy for another one that I will use it. Thank you, Dan. Yeah, thank you.
It's not my copyright, this image.
No, no. Yeah,
Thank you. And I found this picture especially funny just because of your engagement with the surf community right now. So.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right. Next phase. I mean, after you've gone through startup, you have managed to survive startup. Find seed money, do a couple of rounds probably of getting more investors. You have been able to rethink your idea, adapt your idea, your service, your product to the needs and the requirements of both your clients and your investors, because that's important too. The investors will have they might want to have something to say about how you develop your idea.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're in growth and establishment of your business. So now it's important to endure, right? To make sure you stay there. How do you do that? You need to find. I mean, now you can't do everything on your own anymore. You need to hire people. You need to find people with the right skills. Don't only look to people who do and think as you do. Find people with other skills who can give you good ideas as well and can work on their own. So you can manage and delegate. Because that's important too. You need to feel that you can trust the people working with you to the extent that you should be able to actually take a break and leave for a week and don't worry about what's happening with your company. Because as I know, I mean, there's a lot of burnout in the business, right? A lot of people work 80-hour weeks for a long time, and that's not healthy, right? So you need to be able to actually, I mean, it's more like this is like a spaceship.
Yeah.
You need really qualified people on all posts, right? You need, the best you can find.
It's perfect that you're underlying these parts, because we have also lectures on that, and problems about the pressure and then about being too much under pressure for quite a long time and everything. So we trick this, and actually we have also another lecture about psychology of the startup. So thank you for bringing it up. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I think it's quite important. I mean, as you mentioned at the start of this talk, I have a background I'm a technician. I'm an engineer and a programmer, so I love to get my hands dirty. But that also means that when it comes to delegating, I'm a bit reluctant. I have to say that, because I always think I can do things better on my own.
Yeah.
Or I want to be there because it's fun to do it. But I can't do that because I also have to manage the company.
Yeah.
And I have to talk to clients. I have to talk to all the clients. So I don't have time to actually, program anymore. But I also like to stay on top and see, to learn about this stuff. I want to know what my programmers are doing.
Yeah.
It's a thin line of being still tech savvy. You have to be learning about the new technical developments.
Mm-hmm.
You also need to manage your company. So maybe that's one of the things I've learned over the years, is actually to delegate and to have working self-organizing and autonomous small groups of people that can work together in projects.
Okay.
So that I won't have to micromanage them all the time, and I can actually feel good enough so I can go home and take care of my kids in the afternoon, not having to worry about what's going to happen in those few hours in the afternoon. Right?
Yeah, thank you.
Well, You might find it boring. I find it boring. But it can also be, you can also see it as a personal evolution, right? You actually have to develop yourself and find new skills in yourself. I mean, I didn't know anything about managing a company before I started. And I even thought, well, how hard can it be? But it's actually quite hard. I mean, if you're a computer scientist or you're a biologist or whatever you are, you have, you have studied many, many years to become what you are. But now you have to learn about managing a company as well. So, Rafa, you probably have a lot of information about that, and you teach your kids and people about that.
Yes, thank you. And that is very good. You bring it to this point. Thank you.
Okay.
Go on.
So, another challenge here at this point is, at least for us, has been, there's a distributed workforce. I mean, sometimes to find the right people, you have to look outside the city you live in. You might have to subcontract. We have been working with people in India or in Africa even, or other low-cost countries, and you have to manage that. You might have different offices even, right? You might have offices in different cities, and you have to manage that workforce as well. You will have clients that are spread all over the world, probably. Mm-hmm. And so you need to manage how to communicate with those clients and get, their input, as we talked about before. And you will also contract service providers, that is services from different providers all over the world. And you have to get those in line and get everything working. So this is about time zones, languages, culture. It's a little bit about everything, and it brings us to my second phase of this talk, which is about communication and how we communicate in the project or in your company. So more about that in a little while. Mm-hmm. Just want to mention the fifth phase, when your company is already stable and mature. You might start feeling a bit like routine, but you can never stop moving forward. Because if you stop, you're actually moving backwards. Bear in mind the first image I showed you about the progress of life and evolution. So, if you're bored and you don't see it going anywhere, you can leave and you can do something completely different. Or you might think this is like another phase of your company. Start expanding it. So how do you expand? Well, you can start thinking about new products and services, spin-offs of current products, or evolution of your services that you have out right now, or do something seemingly unrelated but might be related in the back end, so to speak. We've done this several times. We have seen some technology or some service we're providing is sort of starting to fade into oblivion, and you need to look for new areas of selling your company, right? So we need to look into how can we change or evolve our services or our products so that they are still interesting for our clients. This is, of course... Sorry, Rafa.
No. I think you get a really important point. I mean, and I just wanted to ask you a question. And every time you are looking for like new products, new services, and everything, that will mean a spin-off or a new changes into your company. Do you always have a customer oriented decision, or is it something you do because you really trust in the new technology or as an engineer? I mean, is it something that you vote internally, or you have a hint and then you decided to develop something into another direction and then push into your clients? How do you do that? I mean, I'm interested into that.
Yeah, it's an interesting question, Rafa, and I think in our case we have we're still a pretty small company, right? So we have we try to do workshops, internal workshops, where we have our our programmers or our creative guys talk a bit about some new technology or some new stuff that they want to share with us and the rest of the company, because they feel it's important that everybody becomes aware of this new thing. Yeah. Might be a new programming language or a new methodology or a new way to do creative stuff. So that in a way will make us able to know more about new stuff on a small level, right? This is like small steps, right? Small evolutionary steps that we can sort of sneak into our current services and products. Because, okay, that seems like a very interesting thing to do. That will actually help us, it will save us time, or we will become more efficient, or will help us stay on top of the technical evolution, right? Let's incorporate that technology into the next version of the software, for instance, right? So that's internally driven process in that sense. But then we also have these larger strategic decisions where we see that, okay, cloud computing, hey, that's new, so maybe we need to offer this to our clients when they ask us to host one of their services. So then it's a strategic decision on a long-term or a bigger level.
Okay, thank you for that.
Okay. Right. Another way to expand is also, of course, entering new geographies or demographics. So maybe you have a service that is also, I mean, we live in Spain. There's about 45 or 50 million people living here. It's quite enough to start up a company and for those 45 million people living in Spain. But over the years, you might want to open up to expand into new countries. And that has its own set of difficulties, and you need to do a lot of research for that as well. Well, today we're living in a totally connected world, so it's easy to expand, but sometimes your products and services has to be adapted to those other countries' languages and, of course, demographics. I mean, you might have a product that's directed to youth between 15 and 25. Now, those people are growing to 10 years in business, and you need to change your line of services and products as well to fit a bigger demographic. So you look worried, right?
No, I'm not worried. I'm a little bit worried about the time. Is 10:30, and that's it. I mean, it's the only thing. And I look worried because I can't read, and probably I need my glasses most of the time. So that is why I need to concentrate. Sorry, I'm getting old.
We're coming to the end of this
that's correct.
Set of talking about the experiences.
Yeah.
I just want to say that maturity. Well, will you come to a point where you think you can't grow any further, or are there really enough opportunities for me to grow? Well, if you find that there is opportunity to grow, you also need to look into how can we actually cover this. I mean, in case we don't succeed in expanding in that area we expect to expand, do we need to do another round of financing, or do we have enough money to do this on our own? And the fourth question there is, are you really the right guy to lead your own company into this new era of your company? We have that discussion constantly. We're two partners at the company, and it's a discussion we have not every day, but every week at least. I mean, should we really do this? Maybe we should take on a more techie depth in that role in the company and have somebody else lead the company. So I think it's important and healthy to ask you that question, actually.
That's a very interesting point. I mean, and I think quite important to have, and quite humble to have also, because not too many people, because of their ego, they want to bring anyone outside and step outside to bring the company into the expansion or a more leading position. And I don't think there are too many good founders that they could grow a company later on and add value, especially to their shareholders or to the
Well,
clients.
I guess you're right in that, and I think it all comes down to who you are. I mean, what kind of person you are. There's a lot of people who like to have that role
Yeah.
and are good at it. And I think from my own experience, I'm I'm totally sure there are lots of other people who might be better at doing this.
Yeah.
I mean, leading the company and being the visionary who are able to actually talk to their clients, and so everybody jumps and wants to hire us.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Okay. Thank you.
So this image is also important. Do you want to be the guy on the left or the guy on the right? Both companies are growing, right? But I'd rather be on the right here.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. So anyway, that brings us to the communication and the importance of communication and how can we actually improve. Because as you're we talked about different aspects here, right? Getting the right people, communicate with them. You need to you will have a distributed workforce in different countries, different languages, and you all need to be able to communicate and work on your project. And that's probably one of the most important things that we do. I mean, we spend hours every day reading emails, chatting, phone conferences, whatever, or talking in the conference room. So communication is important. I mean, let's look at the past. Let's just go 25 years back in time. Fax was the king of the business. There was no phone conference equipment, so they were really expensive. Mobile phones were just brand new. Not so many people had them. Email was still new. Websites were still new. And there was, of course, Microsoft Project. But fax, I mean, you can't do project planning with a fax. Basically, you had to do conferences, traveling, to meet with the other team. I remember from the time when I was at Swedish Space Corporation, they would have meetings every week or every 2 weeks with the rest of the European Space Agency. I mean, there are France, Spain, Germany, England. I mean, so they had to travel a lot, and a lot of time was spent traveling. Time that you could have actually done other stuff, right? More important stuff than traveling. Email was new. This is how email looked in the early 90s. Horrible. So, come year 2000, we get a more developed email. We get voice over IP. Thanks God for that. But still, there is Microsoft Project for project planning. Not much else. But from 2000, well, actually end of the 2000s, before 2010, we start getting a lot of different programs, services, and these are just some of them. Some of the most important, perhaps, and some new and upcoming. It's not important which tool you choose. It's important you have something that works for you. And this will change over the time. Jira was still is, one of the biggest and most popular tools for communicating. We tried it, we were working with it for a couple of years, and we left it. I don't say that Jira is bad, I don't want to say that at all. It's really good, but it didn't work out for us. We felt that it was not the perfect tool for us. So every now and then, you will feel that the tool you're working with is not optimal, or that you're missing something, or it's not making you efficient enough, and you will start looking for something else, and that's quite natural, I think. So I think, depending on your business, the number of people you are, what experience you come with in terms of different tools, just agree on a set of tools. I mean, right now we work with Trello and Slack, for instance. Those are two tools that combine pretty well together and do different things and are useful for different things, and use them every day. But find your own set of tools, but make sure that everybody works with the same tools, so you can communicate efficiently and that you have, the best of these tools let you define your own way of working. They don't force you into one model of actual, of how you work. So that's important that you agree on how to work with these tools. That's also quite important.
Mm-hmm.
Trello, for instance, is the typical Kanban lane where you move small tickets from one lane to another as they progress throughout the history of the project. You start up in the to-do item, to-do list, and then you move maybe to the development list. Then it will move to a review or testing phase, and then they're done. So they go back to a blocked lane. I mean, you have to just decide on how you want to work, and especially if you work from different places, you need to agree on that. Seems I'm running out of battery here.
Yeah.
Strange.
If you want to stop and look for your charger, it's all right.
It's connected, so I don't really understand why.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So those are the tools. You need to find the one that works best for you. And of course, there's always email, and we find that a mix of all these, the tools plus the email, and we do a lot of phone conferences as well. We have people working in 4 different locations right now.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are, we have meetings every morning where we connect.
Hello.